Sports fans. They are a collective group of consumers. They pay for the tickets in order to attend the sporting events and participate in the festivities through the purchasing of food and services to provide a better viewing experience, both at the event itself, cheering on in the bleachers along with thousands of other fans, or at home on the couch with family and friends. Branding and sponsorship take a huge role in this experience. It dictates what one wears, what type of food and drink one buys, and the feeling of overall inclusion within a fan base. In both the FIFA World Cup tournament and the NHL Stanley Cup, branding and sponsorship are used to encourage more buyers to invest in merchandise and create more revenue for the events in large global markets. When consumers view commercials and advertisements from a certain company during a sporting event, they know less about the quality of the product than the company trying to sell it. Therefore, the consumer is forced into a situation where he or she has to interpret the message in the context of the sponsored sporting event. This idea forms the basis of signaling theory. At this point, the sponsors in the event become a collective entity in themselves, and forces the viewers to make a judgment as a whole whether to fully participate in an event and buy merchandise. Because of the group mentality of sports fans, individual consumers within that group feel compelled to buy merchandise with the company and team logos in order to not feel left out and in turn become more immersed with the game. So you can consider signaling theory as a sort of push method of communication among sponsors, events, and fans. That is the power of branding and sponsorship. One of the biggest pull factors for branding are the mascots. Every team in the National Hockey League has one. They represent each individual city in the league as a symbol of the city's identity in the sports world. With that in mind, each city's brand becomes its own singular identity in which the hockey rink becomes a contact zone between two competing brands fighting for dominance, ultimately being the Stanley Cup trophy. Dominance is fought for through the players' actions and the cheer and support from the fans. Even so, on a smaller scale within North American households, fans are wearing jerseys that show that they are a part of a team. Take the St. Louis Blues for example. Its logo is a representation of the city's deep connection with blues music, and the work of musicians such as W.C. Handy. The team mascot, Louie, is colored blue to represent that same value. The FIFA World Cup is a much larger global event, so each host country gets a mascot as a representative of the entire event. According to FIFA, the mascots have come to play an increasingly important role in the FIFA World Cup, representing the fun side of the event. Often during these international competitions, the host country spurs a greater sense of nationalism, which is shown through the power of merchandising and increased sponsorship. The mascot of the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, Fleco, shows some valued aspects of Brazil as a nation. According to FIFA, the choice of colors in his design provided a clear link to the Brazilian national flag and referred to three of the strongest features of life in Brazil. The green shorts represent a lush tropical landscape, the yellow body tones illustrated the sunny climate and beautiful beaches, and the blue tints in the shell portrayed the sky and clear waters. Now let's move on to the sponsors themselves. It's not surprising that there is some overlap when it comes to which companies invest in either the World Cup or Stanley Cup. One of those companies is McDonald's. Here is a short segment from McDonald's FIFA 2014 commercial.
From the fields and from the marshes, get the old and young like gashes. They all spoke with the different volleys. Oh my gosh, my gee, you're the one for me.
Advertisements such as these start to blur the lines between sponsors and events, creating a sort of homogeneous mixture. The same applies to NHL commercials as well.
Hit him! Come on! No!
Hey, can I help you, buddy? No, I'm good.
The companies who invest in these events for sponsorship rights pay a lot of money to get fans to purchase their product or service as part of the overall sporting experience. But do the sponsorship and marketing methods of competitions like the World Cup and Stanley Cup really create a better overall viewer experience? According to a study done by Matthew Walker at the University of Florida, He tested on a 10-point scale, with 0 being the worst and 10 the best, intent to attend, event quality, and the strength of influence a sponsor has on an event depending on its relatedness to that corresponding event. The subject of the study was a group of sports management students given a special packet that included marketing materials for a theoretical long drive competition. The study's findings show that sponsors who show relatedness to an event score significantly higher in all categories. This shows that the marketing methods of both the FIFA World Cup and NHL Stanley Cup, and the implementation of signaling theory create an enhanced viewing experience as long as fans choose to participate.